TKO Entertainment, and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and this will be an episode standout for Superman and Lois, the second season, episode 3, titled The Thing in the Mines. Now, just to be aware, there will be spoilers throughout this video, so just to remind you, just in case you haven't seen the episode yet or haven't caught up to speed all throughout season 2 so far. Now, overall, this was probably the strongest episode in what's been another fine start to the series. We had lots of good story arcs being developed, and most of them are compelling throughout the episode. But straight away, we'll talk about the big talking event that everybody is concerned about regarding this episode and indeed this season, and this is, of course, the overall reveal of the villain. Now, throughout the start of this season 2, we've been seeing Superman constantly disorientated by the presence of an entity emerging from the mine site established throughout the season, and everything was hinting towards the iconic villain Doomsday, who we all know was part of the hugely successful comic book arc with the killing of Superman in Superman issue 75, I believe. And all the signs have been there, and even certain reveals from the showrunners have definitely indicated the fact that indeed we've seen Doomsday throughout this particular season. And we saw that throughout the early parts of these episodes, where we saw the first emergence of this being within the mines, and later on we had that look where he's in the suit, and it was very similar to the first time appearance of Doomsday within the comics, if you remember, when he first of all emerges from underground in that very bulky cybernetic suit before taking on his iconic form later on throughout the original storyline. So in terms of this episode, after a great midway battle between Superman and this entity, we see the helmet damaged. We get that face shot of Tyler Hoechlin, all scarred with the blue eyes, showing us very much that this is indeed Bizarro, another iconic villain within the Superman lore. As we all know, originally Bizarro was a Superman clone from the comics, and he's very much the reverse intation of Superman. The fact that he's very disfigured, he has the reverse S symbol as opposed to Superman, where Superman's eyes light up in red when he uses his heat vision. Bizarro's eyes light up in light blue as he uses very much more the freeze vision for his eyesight. And to be honest, I'm very glad of this decision, as I think using Doomsday is too early given the famous arc of the particular character. I've always felt that whenever you use Doomsday, albeit for an animation show, animation series, a television series, or indeed a cinematic movie, the Doomsday arc should be very much the overall conclusion to your overall story involving Superman, as opposed to what happens particularly with the character. So I feel it's a bit of a waste if you bring Doomsday in early on, particularly with Superman Lois in its second season overall. Now, going for Bizarro, I think has far more potential, because I think far more can be done with the character. When you're talking about the split identity of Bizarro, there's more mileage that can be sustained throughout a particular season of a television show, rather than Doomsday, who is essentially an unrelenting force of evil that Superman has got to combat in order to stop him and go all the way. Now, Bizarro has been adopted many times before within the CW shows. We look at Smallville, which adapted it very much in its 7th season, and I think Supergirl also provided the female equivalent of the character within its 2nd season. But this presentation here in Superman Lois just might be the best live action version that we've seen yet of the character. It was very edgy and dark and atmospheric as we saw the character enter the fortress revealed in his full costume. It was a very good look. Again, we had those very lightening of the blue eyes and his fully facial disfigured. They're very much going for, I believe, a far more serious and intense version of the character, opposed to what we saw in the Superman the Animated series, where Bizarro was much more of a hulking, clumsy entity. He had that reverse speak associated with the character, but he wasn't really that threatening in terms of an overall villain. But I think with Superman and Lois, I think they're adopting the right way for this character, and I believe this can be an antagonist that can actually be sustained throughout the remaining episodes of this particular season. So overall, I'm looking very much forward into how they exactly develop this character going ahead for the rest of the series. And Doomsday can be done at a much later date, as I mentioned before. Maybe they can save that reveal for the overall series finale whenever that arrives. So overall, I believe it was completely the right decision to go for Bizarro. I know some people may be disappointed, but at the end of the day, I just think there's far more development that you can use with Bizarro as an overall character. As I mentioned before, other parts of this episode were also very good. The Lois arc involving her sister Lucy Lane, which will be the Supergirl version, making her appearance, and also her mother as well, is also very interesting. I think they've done a very good job in building that setup very well, and I'm very much looking to the eventual confrontation between Lois and Lucy. I'm sure sparks will fly very much when we get that eventual encounter. Here, I believe it was her mother that came to the diner to meet Lois, so there'll be lots of potential there. When we look at Jonathan, what will happen with him wanting to take the steroids that were being sold by his girlfriend? Will this result in a manifestation of his powers? Now, I think they've done the right decision in concentrating very much on Jordan exposing his abilities first, taking it one step at a time, and then later on Jonathan, I'm pretty much sure, will start to showcase some abilities. Maybe this will be towards the end of the season as well. And then we look at Jordan, who wanted to reveal his secret identity, or the secret of his powers, to Sarah because he felt he was losing her following the revelation that she kissed a girl on holiday. Clark shut this suggestion down straight away, rightly so, because he feels Jordan, at only 15 years old, isn't properly mature enough to reveal the secret to Sarah. So completely understandable reaction from Clark, but I do get the feeling that he probably revealed it to her at some stage throughout the season, and I'm sensing that we'll probably get some sort of tragic arc for the season finale where maybe he tells her right at the end. It seems like they're going to be happy, she understands and fully dedicates herself to retaining his secret, and then maybe she dies later on in the finale. Again, I'm just speculating. I've got nothing to base that theory on. Knowing Jordan and considering the fact that he's only 15, his hormones are running all over the place, it won't be surprising that I believe he will tell his secret to Sarah. And to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in the Lana campaigning for mayor. I just feel it feels a bit disconnected from the rest of the stories, which are far more substantial and far more compelling in my eyes. I understand the need to give these characters something to do, but it just doesn't feel that important in terms of the overall scheme of events. But I'm pretty much sure they'll connect it somehow and make it far more significant throughout the rest of the season so far. So that's it really. That's my overall thoughts and feelings and review of a standout episode of Superman and Lois Season 2 Episode 3. Again, completely the right decision that they revealed in Bizarro. They did very much of a bait and switch, if you remember, from the first season, where we all thought that John Henry Irons was going to be Lex from another future, and then it turned out to be Steel. So I predicted this very much so within Twitter, that was going to be very much of a bait and switch. But this is a bait and switch that makes sense, and it actually keeps you surprised and keeps you engaged, wondering what other revelations that they will play out for the rest of the season. So a very strong episode, a good standard episode for, once again, a very strong start to what is continuing to be amongst one of the strongest superhero shows currently showing on air. So there's my overall quick thoughts and feelings and review of an episode standout within Superman and Lois. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Were you disappointed that it wasn't Doomsday, or were you like me very happy in the fact that they chose Bizarro because there's more development that you can take with the character, and also that Doomsday should be really left out for later on throughout the season? And I think they avoided the mistake that was made within the DCEU by pulling the reveal of Doomsday so early on within the game. Let me know what you think in the comments. If there are any other episode standouts within Superman and Lois later on down the line, then I will provide commentary on those as well. Please also hit and like those subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.